Hello, and it's so great to have you here at this debate today run by Avon Schools Eco Network. We are a group of young people from schools across Avon working for a sustainable future.
My name is James Bennett and I'll be your host for this evening.
I'm also joined behind the camera, as you can see over here, by two producers, Sophie, who is our front of house producer, and Eleanor, who manages our social media. Other people who have helped with preparing for this debate include Matty, who's here with us, Muna, who's not here today, Oliver, Jack and Queenie, who's also with us today. And of course, our wonderful mentors who are also with us today. So now the reason this debate is taking place is because in 2016, in the Bristol City Council elections, only 44.76% of eligible adults voted. Now surely democracy is far too precious for just 44.76% of us to be part of it. On top of that, we have the climate and ecological crisis. And these candidates for mayor will be judged on how well they deal with this. This is surely the elephant in the room when it comes to this election. So now the candidates have all been asked to prepare an opening statement, which we respectfully ask is no longer than 1 minute. The statement will be answering the following question. Why should the people of Bristol have confidence that you will be the mayor to tackle the climate crisis in our city?
I think we can have confidence because we are actually doing it already. Over the last few weeks, I've visited housing developments around Bristol with ground source heat. There's hydropower coming to the city. We've also, just across the road here, just released Brislington Meadows from plans for housing. But it's not just isolated projects, it's what we've done. We've built the whole city plan around delivering the sustainable development goals. And underpinning that is the ecological strategy and the climate strategy. So we've rallied the whole city, not just Bristol City Council, but the whole city to delivering on climate change and the ecological emergency.
Thank you. So let's be clear, it was the Green Party that brought the motion to declare the climate emergency a few years ago and to reach net zero by 2030. So the climate crisis and climate change is in our DNA. So whether we're looking at building houses, transport systems, looking after our parks, it's climate change that is at the heart of all of our policies. And the job of mayor is to actually take that policy and get things done, to really make change in the city. It's where the rubber hits the road. And just to tell you a little bit about my past, back in the mid-90s, I led, and with some other people, a campaign to stop an incinerator being built in Avonmouth and instead to persuade the City Council to invest in the curbside recycling scheme that we have today. And that's one of the reasons why Bristol has one of the highest recycling rates in the city. So it can be done. If you elect Greens and go green, then you can make real change. So I have that track record, we have the passion and the expertise to really tackle climate change and reach our net zero target.
Yeah, as part of the older generation, we certainly have quite a job to do for you guys and to make sure that we do improve the environment over the next 10 years or more. Today was a good day for the environment because the Conservative government announced plans to increase or to reduce the time it's going to take to achieve their targets of 78% reduction by now 2035. And I think this has got a good impact on Bristol because this will mean that it'll make things more achievable. Bristol can't do this on its own. And, I think all of us would agree that, to decarbonise the whole of this city is a huge job. And to do it by 2030, we now have a bit more of a chance because of the Conservative government.
My background in science equips me to deal with the climate crisis. Throughout my career, I've done my part for the planet. I reused plastics during my PhD and autoclaved, washed and autoclaved where I needed to, and instead of using fresh plastics every time. As a scientist, I'm evidence-led, and that's why I'm proud that the Liberal Democrats in Bristol are proposing ambitious plans for tackling the climate crisis. We're committed to building a tidal power generator in Bristol, retrofitting homes, dedicated cycling lanes, and rolling out electric car charging points and more. But decisions in Bristol about the future of our city and the future of our planet should not be solely down to one person, and that's why I want to scrap the mayor. The system puts too much power into the hands of one person. Instead, we must prioritise local democracy, which is essential to the climate crisis, which requires everyone working together to ensure that nobody's left behind.
Thank you, Caroline.